Good evening, brothers. Um, thanks, Derek, for the opportunity. Earl, as ever, thanks for the introduction. As was said, I'm one of the counsellors of Think On Therapy, well-established counselling service, and again, a company that is nationally recognised, working with universities and facilitating the trainers across the country. I am here really just to say that one of the main things that in my years involved professionally in counselling and therapy work is the low representation of black men coming to the fore. I guess that won't surprise you. And I think that one of the things that I have found is that confidentiality is a big thing. And, I know that we can talk about the service in so many different ways, but at the end of the day, for me, what we're talking about here is building relationships. And I say that very seriously because if there's no trust, you won't have the confidence to share what is happening with you. And as was rightly said by Derek, all of us, our health, part and parcel, a chapter of that health is our mental health. And that applies to everybody. And I think what we are trying to do as we navigate through life is have a very balanced mental health. And sometimes through life, we go through turbulence and we are not able to navigate that on our own. There's no shame, there's no disgrace in any of that. I've had to use the service. That is what has brought me to be a practitioner. My journey here was through the death of my father during the lockdown when we were inflicted with this COVID 19. And it's impacted a lot of people in many different ways. The loss is one, but it's the aftermath of the loss. And that is just one slice, just one aspect of it. When you look at the information that we've actually got, there are many different areas that we've provided support to people on across the piece. And I just want you to know that there is a team of counsellors that are well experienced, they're sensitive, they understand the nuances of cultural sensitivity in all of that, and that's really important. And if you are listening to what I'm saying, you're thinking about what I'm saying, and it kind of resonates with you, you can contact us. You can contact us privately. You can. It's confidential. You can choose the counsellors that you want. I'm here to represent. Not everybody may want to speak to a black male for whatever reason. That's okay. There's no condemnation here. At the end of the day, there's a good spectrum of people that are there that if you want to speak to, you can actually do that. There'll be leaflets and things that will be here. If you are interested and you want to fill out an initial assessment, we'll make sure that all of the information is left with Derek, and then whatever protocols, Derek, that you want this to be fed through, and so that there's proper governance around the whole thing, then that can be done. But the important thing, the real important thing, is that The minute that you pick up the phone, it's confidential. Nobody knows. Okay? That's the important thing I want you to understand. Okay? It's not about you being kept on a database. It's not about people knowing your business. The minute that you call us, confidential. Nobody knows. Nobody has to know. We're not reporting back to anybody. We're not giving statistics to break down for anybody to break down or anything like that. You're in a safe place, and that is an important thing in all of that. There's no need to think that whatever issue that you're dealing with, it's so rough that we can't hear it, we can't listen to. As I said, we're not here to condemn, we're here to support. And whatever it is that you feel that we can provide a support to, then pick up some of the information and through the proper protocols, just give us a call. I know that the clients that we actually deal with, one of the key things that is a winner for us is the way that we actually take care of their privacy. Okay? And I hope I haven't overlabored the point, but once you're with us, you're in safe hands. We are very mindful that there are many issues, and again, Earl has done many presentations on mental health affecting men. I don't want to rehearse all of that. I'm sure Earl may have shared some of that with you already. So the statistics are there, are clear, and all that we are trying to say is that we're not trying to browbeat anybody and say that you must, but what we want you to know is that if there's a facility that is here and it's here for you, and if you need us, please just reach out to us. I think that's probably as much as I want to say, Derek, if that's okay.
We'll get those all
Okay, yeah, there's a bunch over there, but this is just an example of
much for
them.
that.
Okay.
Right, mental health was on my radar. So we're going 2.5 years. This is not just about Earl and just about Kevin, to be honest with you. What the idea is, I'm building up a team around us. Earl came in a great, offer to us last month. I said, hey, let me check this out. Spoke to his good lady. I said, that's bang on. We are a diverse group, and not just black guys. We're predominantly maybe 2/3 black guys, white guys, but Asian guys also involved. So we're catering for a unique, a diverse group of people. But I'm looking to build up a team, and to be honest, it's some of them specifically locally. So we're talking about women. We're talking about black guys, black women, and others who got. And he mentioned a very important area that I dear to my heart is about bereavement. And again, I've known people got pushed over the edge. They got a relative who's died. They had mental health issues and they lost it. So I could have been one of them. So that's even one of the things that I have to share and say, that I understand that bereavement is not something that as a society we've taken as serious as we could do. Somebody who's with you, you love, then all of a sudden it's gone. So this is just the start of things to come. And I'm glad to hear about Earl with his experience on mental health, because we haven't seen that yet, but that's coming. Thanks for letting me know about that. But, it's a bigger than just these guys. But I've been talking to his good lady, and this is part of a journey. So what happens at the moment with mental health, and I always keep coming back to my brother, and it's a shame. Here comes being diagnosed, here comes treatment, here comes pills and all these other things. And post-diagnosis is not that clever. Guys are left out, and I see a bunch of guys on a scrap heap who are not being supported. So this is part of a big journey, and our emphasis is now switched to mental health. Prostate cancer is right up there. It ain't going nowhere. But mental health is one big priority of this group. But all I was going to say is that this is just a start. The existing mental health process means you're talking to somebody on the phone, you're having a Zoom call online or whatever. What I'm looking at here is one-to-ones where we can act together in a safe space, as Kevin alluded to, where people want to speak to somebody. If you're okay online, you're okay. talking on the phone with somebody, that's okay. They tell me quite a lot of guys that's okay, and I don't know if that's I'm not trying to be racy or sexist, but if that's a white thing, fine. But I think there's another group of guys who want to see somebody on a one-to-one. Kevin emphasised that it's safe space. That information doesn't go anywhere. I mean, I haven't got my crib sheet today. I've rushed out and left the other thing. Anything that we discuss in here stays in here. Birmingham is such a small place. We're touching about very delicate matters, erectile dysfunction, relationship breakdown, mental health, and all these other issues. So we earnestly say to people, keep that within these four walls. We respect each other's opinions. You know, some of you might not agree with somebody, but that's their opinion. Yeah, sometimes you might think we never thought of that. We've learned things from that process.
Apologise.
Hi, Patrick. Yeah, nice to see you guys. No problem. Yeah. Welcome to Patrick Morris. He runs another group, a men's group over in Smethwick. I went down last week, an amazing group. This was catering for older men who sometimes, like, just a bit, like your dad's age. But trust me, there's a lot of stuff we learn. One big thing I missed, I never got stuff from my dad that I could beat myself up on. How come you never asked him about this, that? Those guys cater for that. That's their vision. We want the older guys to share with the younger guys. Brilliant. Had a brilliant time down there. Thanks very much, and glad to see you guys. Barry Robinson in here, and I'll say a bit more about him in a bit. But no, this is part of a journey. So this is one-to-one personalised stuff. We're going to work at the logistics with Bev. We'd want everything coming through us. We don't want you guys just to do that willy-nilly, so we can manage and monitor it. And also accountability. You guys are a relatively new company. Let's see what happens, how it works. Does it work? What are the guys saying? Can you cater for this and that? So, you know, but not just yourself. There's other people in here. We've had a couple of guys. I love what Kevin said. He's living testimony. He had issues. One of the other guys, we had a guy called Michael Behane. Again, he had it all, lost it, and had a breakdown. And he's come back and he's sharing that journey with guys here. And everybody who comes in, he almost ends up crying because of his personal experience. He does prison service, does NHS, and does all those groups, and they love him speaking from the heart. And we've had the Asian lady, we had Baljit come in again. We're talking about an academic, neuroscientist, the brain and the body, and all of that lot. And she's an amazing speaker. One of the things I want to say is that anybody locally, they're doing some workshops with Baljit is heading. See me after if you're interested in that. I'm going along. I have been along for 2 weeks, only about 2 hours, but that is really well worth it if you're in a position to come along to that. This is a top-class lecturer. Sorry? It's Tuesday morning. I think it's 12 till 1:30. That's me on that. I just wanted to rattle a couple of quick things. We're at the end of a contract. Somebody said something about we're not accountable to funders. We actually are. We don't get that much money, but we are accountable. So I'm at an end of the contract report. I will say to you, get funding 1 year, then you don't get funding the next year. It doesn't matter how great you are. So as a group, I'm suggesting, and when Glenn comes back, we pushed it. We put our hands a bit deep in our pocket. We just can cover this. It's not a major expense. We've got all the equipment we need to deliver anything we need to deliver, in terms of, projector and computers and all of that lot. But just to cover the room. So nothing crazy. But we don't want to be in the pocket of these funders, trust me, because I've felt it, the first-hand experience. And, we didn't tell you we're going to fund you again. Oh, right, you didn't tell me you wasn't. So it is like that. A couple of quick things on here. We won't have no time today, but I'm going to do another session about self-care. And all I wanted to say, guys, we're all under pressure and stress. Never mind the big car and the big suit and all of that. We've got a lawyer in the place, and I hope you don't mind saying he was just stressed out with stuff generally. It might not really work, but personal. So we're all under the cosh. But one of the things I'll touch base with next month is going to be self-care. You guys need to be deflating this and losing this stress somewhere, whether it's sports, entertainment, whatever. You know what I mean? You don't come in and bottle it up and then take it out, and then next minute I heard somebody's top themselves, So self-care is so important, and I'll touch base with that next month. Just for those who might need this, I'm just flagging up. Something is on tomorrow. I can't remember exactly where Solly or when it is, but I'll drop it in the group. Some prostate cancer support groups. Those who are on that journey, being diagnosed on that journey. These are groups well established, been around a long time. As funny enough as Kevin said, they're predominantly white guys, but hold on, we supposed to be a high risk group. So Erdington is coming, but it's going to take me a bit of time to get it together. But Erdington is definitely coming. We need one in some of our inner city areas where we've got high population of black guys. But at the moment, Sutton Coldfield is here. It's on tomorrow about 2:30. Can't remember. I think Solihull is the third or fourth Tuesday. Sometimes clashes with our group. PS screening, again, a few people are struggling to get screened for their blood tests, which I find pretty ironic. Bear in mind, we're a high risk group. If people are, I'd suggest you try and come back to me. You can't get hold of a doctor, nobody's recording you back, and you need a blood test. Get in touch with me. I think we need to step this up. You know, you're not just on your own. Here's a group of guys and black guys. Just thinking about Earl, we had one group that was doing this. I think it was the Lions Club. We went along, and they'd put on a screening program. So it was outside the NHS. You had to pay some contribution towards it, but then you got screened that week. You got the results, etc. One of the proposals we put in is that we will actually take this outside of the NHS. The NHS ain't going to be liking that, but that's how it is. We can't afford to just sit there and wait till they sort something out. So we've got an application we got. I don't know whether it be successful at this stage, but is that we do screening potentially somewhere like here. We obviously got to have qualified not doctors, phlebotomists and nurses and people like that. But guess what? That'll be the first time in the whole country that that's been able to be done, if we're able to do it. I mentioned about that course. Glenn's not here to tell us anything about physical. He's having a jolly over in Dubai, is what I heard 2 weeks ago. His good lady's girlfriend twisted his arm to go. I don't know. I don't think that would need too much twisting myself, but that's the way he put it. She got a sister. I'll let him know next time. You don't want my sister. You don't know me. The man's in the place. I've been asking about admin. You guess what? We recruited somebody. It's one of our guys, Barrington Robinson. I went along to have an hour discussion with him, and we ended up being there 3 hours. This is the AI guy. I love it. The knowledge and experience this guy's got. This ain't about money because that's not this position, but if something comes on and he can add some real value, but Barrington's coming on board, he can see the vision and passion, and he's going to support us in that admin role and use all the tools and the platforms to help us get onto social media and all those other things. One thing I'll just say, just before I chip back out, is that we're getting lots of invitations for different training around health and well-being, and I actually want to encourage those guys who are available in the day to buy into this. There's some absolutely brilliant courses that have been funded by the government and the local councils. They put it to us, but if we got guys who are interested, I'm talking about mental health first aid, I'm on about first aid generally, I'm on about bid writing, I'm on about all them other skills. So here's what I want to throw in. It's just interesting. Patrick is in the place. I'd said we were going to do a skills audit. That ain't going to happen this month because there's too much going on. But those guys were doing a skills audit. So next month, I'm going to have a form produced that you guys put whatever your skills are and knowledge and experience are. Number one for the group, but also some of you might be self-employed that other people may tap into those skills if that's appropriate. But skills audit was something I thought about. I think Patrick and his guys are taking it to another level, and I've got that template, and I'll liaise really on that, Patrick, to tweak ours. But no, we're on the move, guys. So welcome Barrington on board, please. Let's give him a hand for joining the team. I desperately needed somebody, and I think that's the right guy. That's going to be the right guy, man. No pressure. no pressure, Barrington.
No, you just said it's going to be hard.
No, I didn't say nothing like that. It's going to be. No, what did Henry Ford say? If you think it's going to be hard, or you think it's going to be easy, you're right whichever way. So it's going to be easy, Barrington. So don't bother with that. So I'm out. This is Gordon's meeting, actually. So I'm chipping out. I know you guys already started with the social, the music and everything. Just carry on. But this will feature every quarter. We'll have one evening where we're just chilling out. And I think I wanted to just get Earl and Kevin in. That normally won't be something we'll do. We'll put anybody in the front. We'll just get into it. But I just wanted to introduce these guys sooner rather than later, in case anybody needs to tap into them.
Well, there's nothing wrong if you have somebody in for 20 minutes.
All right, well, it's your group. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So, yeah, no, I'm asking our other committee member, Gordon, anything?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, this is what we're going to do. If anybody got any suggestions, what they want to do,
Oh.
there's a box there. So You know, we had a sit-down chat, play dominoes or there's draft and all kinds of manner of things in here. Play little music. Don't forget who drinks. There is a bar downstairs.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
you
please
have
support it.
a beer or an orange juice or a coke.
Yeah, you've got all that. You've got to fill a form out. You've got this one. Thanks very much then. So, roll, man. Just chill out.